response to Wasteland grabbing Cradle.
Seems pretty good. So, yeah, because when you play the Cradle, finally you're like, man, I can finally crack my Wasteland, yes. Yeah. Maxwell Jacob goes for Aether Vial there. And, yeah, without Misstep around, it's a good time to be playing Elves.
So what elf is in play right now?
I think it's Curian Ranger.
Okay.
Not totally sure. You think it would be Mana Elf? Oh, no, it's a Mana Elf. Oh, it's Llanowar Elves.
A really old Llanowar Elves.
I think, is that Urza's block Llanowar Elves?
All right.
All right. So Green Sun Zenith for 2 gets dazed, and Chris has played this deck enough that I feel like the numbers on this are pretty good. He has the Mirror Entity kill. He's talked to me a lot about Mirror Entity in this deck, and he's like, well, there's a kill you can do using Mirror Entity because you turn your Wirewood Symbiotes into Elves and just keep bouncing them.
Infinite.
Also, he's just like, someone should just play it and make all your guys 6/6s.
All right. So Green Sun Zenith for 1 didn't, or 2 didn't work, so now he's going to go for 1. We're playing around Curse Catcher right now and Nord Dazes. More outs for Maxwell. I like the play of Green Sun Zenith for 2, trying to go get a Elvish Visionary, but the days happen. But now that days end Curse Catcher online, he's playing around that. Smart play from Chris. And Force of Will pitching Lord of Atlantis from Maxwell. He's not going to let Chris search up for 1-drop.
Yeah, no Zeniths are resolving on Chris Andersen's side of the board. Those forces have kind of stymied Chris's draw. There's still a glimpse in Chris's hand, though, and
a glimpse in 1 elf.
You can certainly explode if things go right.
It says go, playing around, just getting blown out with his mana elf from Curse Catcher. And Corehelm Commander and Lord of Atlantis in Maxwell's hand. So now all the counter spells are gone. Now he just needs to go beat down. Attacks for 2, goes to take it. Does Maxwell put in his Lord? Yeah, flashes in. And Chris goes down to 17. Oh, and he has crop rotation in hand too. That's not really that great right now.
Not exactly what he wants to have.
Yeah, crop rotation, something, and glimpse. Chris untaps, takes his turn, needs to get a decent amount of elves in his hand so he can start going off. And he just drew a Wirewood Symbiote, so he can kind of mini chain one of those glimpses, trying to generate some card advantage here. He's under a ton of pressure as well, so I think that's not a bad play. And no, he's not going to do that. He's going to keep the glimpse in hand.
There comes Wirewood Symbiote. Now, the Symbiote can certainly help reset elves if he wants to go off with glimpse.
Yeah, I think what he's going to do is he's going to crop rotation for Gaia's Cradle, start mini comboing off,
and maybe he just
generate some mana.
Might be able to go full combo next turn. I mean, he's got Nettle Sentinel in his hand.
He's going to have to get some cards off the top to
certainly
do that.
Yeah, certainly can't draw a bunch of useless cards. He needs to find Heritage Druid, or he needs to find Birchlaw Rangers. He's playing 4 of the Druids and only 3 of the Rangers. I always like playing with 4 Rangers, but he's told me several times he only likes playing with 2, so he kind of met in the middle. He's playing 3 here.
All right, so mid-combat he's crop rotating. In case Maxwell does have a daze, so he could Curse Catcher and daze the crop rotation, he doesn't want to take the extra damage the Curse Catcher would deal.
Which is a really tight play by Chris.
It's a very tight play, yeah.
Just, has the potential. It's not going to matter except for, 10%, 5%, 10% of the time. Oh, no, he's getting Pendlehaven to block with. That's insane.
Oh, wow.
That's insane. He's going to block a Pendlehaven this guy.
Awkward.
Did you see that outgoing Maxwell Jacob? I was like, oh, okay, that's a really good play.
How big is that Lord of Atlantis?
Wow.
Not big enough.
Yeah, we'll block. I'm going to Pendlehaven the Wirewood Symbiote.
Bounce.
And he puts out Mara Regery with...
and now Chris is like, nah, I'm dead.
Well, it looked really awesome there for a second.
Yeah.
All right, well, Chris picks up the Llanowar Elf. All right, and now he has to find a way to combo this turn. Pretty sure.
And it's going to be difficult with...
He drew a second Pendlehaven? Is that what that is?
No, that's a Gaia's Cradle.
Oh, he drew a Gaia's Cradle. Okay.
I still don't know if it's going to generate enough mana for him, though.
All right, so he just has to go for it and draw perfectly. I mean, I don't know if he can win if he just plays a bunch of elves. All right, so he goes Llanowar Elf, Gaia's Cradle. I mean, His last 2 cards are Glimpse Nettle Sentinel. I thought he had Nettle Sentinel in his hand. Maxwell levels up his Coral Helm Commander all the way up to 4. And attacks for a bunch. I think it's lethal, right? Alright, yeah, Chris Andersen just concedes.
Yeah, that was
That was bloody.
game.
So
Chris probably feels sick for doing that.
yeah, look at that. He's just not happy about losing to Merfolk. And
It's not just losing to Merfolk, it's that he could have ignored that and probably tried to combo off, but he kind of got cued under camera. He's like, I'm going to kill this creature, and another Lord came, and it's one of those plays that probably was wrong, but at the moment it felt right, and it felt like he was going to be able to get his opponent.
yeah, well, regardless, look at the sideboards here. So Maxwell Jacob certainly has some tools after sideboarding. He's got Submerge and a single Lieutenant Umezawa's Jite, as well as 2 Perish and a Dismember.
Yeah, it's gonna get a little bit rougher for Chris Andersen after sideboard.
Yeah, I mean, those 2 Perishes especially look pretty spicy. I mean, they can take out lots of Chris's cards, and he's just going to extend, too, because that's how this matchup's played. You just extend all of your guys out.
Yeah.
So unless Chris has a quick glimpse draw, it could be a big issue. On the other hand, Chris looking at his sideboard, ooh, here's a brand new Innistrad card for you, 3 Mentor of the Meek.
Yeah, he's got Mentor of the Meek in his sideboard.
That's quite excellent.
Yeah, it's a big one. He boards it in a lot of matchups. When it becomes more about attrition, and it helps combo out a lot. Like even doing fun things like cracking a land to go get Dried Arbor and draw a card off of that. So, Glenn Jones was telling me he talked to Chris Andersen earlier today, and he was talking about how he might just like move away from Glimpse of Nature and just run Mentor of the Meat and Wirewood Hive Master. I think that's what he was talking about.
That's pretty sweet.
Or maybe it's just Wirewood Symbiote and just comboing that way.
I mean, kind of hard to... It's not that hard to do, I guess. Yeah. That's pretty interesting. Other cards in the sideboard, Absolute Law, not for this matchup. This is not a card I see very often. For all you Elves players at home may want to take note. Absolute Law says it's white and 1. All creatures gain protection from red.
Yep.
I've never seen that card before. It's kind of a sweet one, though.
You never seen it before?
No, I've seen a lot of Magic cards. I can play.
I played that in Extended against Goblins in some deck.
I played like Sphere of Law, and I mean I've played,
Oh wait, no, all creatures gain protection. Oh no, that's not the one. I'm thinking Sphere of Law.
Yeah. I'm pretty good at the random card game on Gatherer too, but I did not know Absolute Law was a card. Absolute Grace is the black version. Didn't know that there was a red version. Wheel of Sun and Moon, Choke, and Duress, those aren't going to come in. So I don't think Duress will come in here. So I think we might see... I mean, the only card I could see him maybe bring in if he felt like it was Mentor of the Meek, or Duress. He has 2 Chokes, which are probably pretty reasonable to bring in here. Although a lot of Merfolk's best draws are off of Aether Vial, and they have like Mutavaults and stuff.
And if they don't have Aether Vial, then I feel like Chris should just smash him.
Yeah, exactly.
Even without the Chokes.
Maybe he might bring in Viridian Shaman, so he's got a way to kill a Jite. Because like Jite is a huge issue for us.
Look at Chris Andersen's face. He looks so sad.
Yeah, I mean, I would be sad too if I lost that last game.
Yeah, he should focus. Have the fire. He's going to win.
You just got to pick up game 2, and he'll be feeling a little better. Are you good at the random card game?
I'm the worst.
Oh, never mind then. I was gonna say we could have like some fun and play after this round, but
what do you have to do? You get the name and you have to tell what it does.
You can play a couple different ways. So for those who don't know, on Gather, there's a button called Random Card. You just click it, and a random card from Magic's history comes up. Could be anything.
Let's play it in the next round. It'll be fun.
And you can play either, you can play it one of two ways.
You do it until you don't know what the card is. Yeah. To be honest, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so some elf comes down. There's a Force of Will in Maxwell's hand, and Spell Pierces. Interesting.
Oh, Spell Pierce. All right, there's Elvish Visionary for Chris Andersen. Resolves. It's a draw card. And you're going to tap both those elves.
Is that a Birchlow Ranger?
Yeah, Birchlow Ranger and Elvish Visionary. Going to tap both those for Findhorn elves.
Yeah, Findhorn.
You can play it either the way where you just have to name the card, or you say you know the card, or you play it where you have to name what the text does if you want to go for the advanced level.
I would try it. That'd be fun.
So Maxwell, turn 2, nothing for the Merfolk player.
Yeah, his hand's full of ways to...
I see a Submerge, I see a Jite.
Yeah, some counter magic.
No Perish, though.
Yeah, Parrish would be a big blowout. I don't know. Would Chris really see that coming?
I don't think. I mean, some of the Black Merfolk decks do have Parrish, but I mean, Chris has played this Elves deck so much that he might be thinking about that. I mean, you can see him right now thinking about what he wants to do if he wants to extend out creatures. Because, like, Maxwell didn't play anything on turn 1 or turn 2 in his Merfolk deck.
Well, but he can't really go aggressive with his creatures because... Or is that is a Pendelhaven in play, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, I mean, he could start beating down and get around that Mutavault, but I don't really know how optimal of a play that is.
Certainly one route. But I'm sure Chris is thinking that Maxwell has a Parrish right now, because why else would he not do anything on turns 1 or 2?
Yeah.
All right.
Green
Because
Sun Zenith for 2.
it's Zenith time.
You can get single Spell Snare.
What do you think he's trying to get with the... He's trying to get a... well, the world may never know. Force pitching Spell Pierce.
I don't know what he'd be going to get.
I mean...
Weirwood Symbiote seems like a good card to go get.
Yeah, Symbiote seems like a good card to get, but if he's doing it for 2, yeah.
Maybe it was a trick.
Or Priest of Titania.
Priest of Titania.
It's not unreasonable. Alright, so Chris is going to crack Fetch Land, and in response, going to submerge away the...
Birchlaw Ranger.
Oh, Birchlaw Ranger. Chris gets a mana in response, and Birchlaw Ranger goes away. A little old trick with Submerge. You do it in response to a Fetch Land, the card goes on top, then it goes shuffled. So, just stuck somewhere in Chris Andersen's deck. Chris gets Savannah.
You need to control an island.
You have to control an island. Probably not something the Merfolk players used to not having, right? So they're going to back up. I mean,
He's just going to put the island in
Max
and take the warning.
Max is just going to, get an island. Chris makes sure to prove that Max has an island in his deck. Not playing the old islandless Merfolk. And... Alright, so now all that happens, it goes back in, etc. And now Chris is going to get his land. He has 2 mana, 1 floating, and there's Elvish Visionary. He'll pick up a card off that, which resolves. Chris draws a card. I think, is that his Zenith that he found?
I did not see it close enough. Alright, double Mutavault. It's just going to drop a GT.
And Chris picks up all... He knows Parrish was coming. He picked up all 3 of his cards. And Chris got to be happy that he's not getting perished here.
So now he wants a Weirwood Symbiote so he can block and keep the GT counters from triggering.
And rebuy Elvish Visionary every turn. That's just my favorite with this deck. Is
that a Pendlehaven? Or is that a Gaia's Cradle?
It might just be a forest. Pretty sure it's just a forest.
Oh, it is.
He plays a pretty sweet forest, though. Alright, there's Windswept Heath. Chris Andersen taps 2.
Green Sun Zenith for 1.
Yeah, and now you just want to find the Symbiote.
Yeah.
He really needs that Symbiote.
Yeah, if he doesn't get that GT with another land is just going to wreck this game.
Fortunately for him, Maxwell just has Spell Pierce in his hand, which he can pay for. And Chris just slams down that Symbiote. Could not be happier. And let's see, I think he can... Yeah, he's going to go pick up Elvish Visionary, play Visionary this turn, I think. And the thing about Weirwood Symbiote, you can set on both turns. You just get such value. He's going to draw a card off the Visionary this turn, ship the turn.
Multiple turns of card advantage.
Yeah, then he's going to be able to ship the turn, pick it up on his opponent's turn. Yep, because he can untap his Mana Elf. Weirwood Symbiote is just the perfect card for this kind of deck.
Alright, draws another spell.
And chips back. Maxwell draws a Silvergill Adept.
Plays Adept, trying to find some spells that are going to matter. Dismember is one of them, and he just drew it. Just drew a Dismember.
Oh, wow.
It's going to shut that symbiote off, and
Chris will still get some value from drawing some cards. If he finds another Zenith or another symbiote, make things happen. But, all right, dismembers the symbiote. And
picks up a Visionary.
yeah. And Chris still got quite a bit of value out of that.
Yeah.
Elves is just such a value. You're like playing your 2-mana 1/1 that cantrips and draws you a card, and you just keep playing that and draw a bunch of cards. And then you die in one turn to Glimpse of Nature. It's great. All right, so Chris cracks Windswept Heath, going to go find a land. And Chris, I think I saw Mentor the Meek in there. I think I saw a green card being flashed by. So Chris is going to find Dryad Arbor. Just to have an extra creature. Could be killed by the GT if it ever gets active, but... Alright, so and that's the one Dryad Arbor in Chris Andersen's deck list. Alright, now Chris is looking to draw something good and spicy here. Draws... Nettle Sentinel, alright. Oh, I think he's got Viridian Shaman in his hand. I think he can just Shaman the... Alright, well there's Elvish Visionary. Picks up a new card. So he kind of made Maxwell fight a war over that GT when in reality I think he just had the answer in his hand. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think you want to keep the penalty untapped so you can block pretty easily. Yep, and there's a Viridian Shaman. That'll knock down.
Maxwell's like, jeez.
Just blast from the... That was actually just the G's face right there, too. It's like blast from the past. I remember doing that, back in Mirrodin and Kamigawa block. Or Mirrodin, standard.
I was usually on the receiving end of getting Viridian Shaman.
Oh, I was the one Viridian Shamaning. Although I played Viridian Zealot for a while, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, this is looking like it's getting very out of control for Maxwell.
Alright, well there's...
I'm going to play one of my elves. Presenter's like, I'm going to play 5.
I mean, if Maxwell draws a Perish, though, bad news for Chris Andersen. Although Chris does have a hand stocked cards now. Right, he drew Gaia Cradle. Ooh. Alright, so now that Cradle taps for 4. Gaia's Cradle, pretty insane. Taps for a mana for every creature you control. Alright, so he plays Nettle Sentinel. And he's going to tap for 5 using Gaia's Cradle. 6 total. Is that Regal Force?
Did you just have it in hand?
Yep. All right. 7 Regal Force.
Jeez.
And oh man, drawing 6 cards. This might be it. Oh, I forgot about Dryad Arbor counting for the Gaia's Cradle. That's what I missed.
Yeah.
Looks like the draw was not that great though. Drew some lands. I don't think I saw a glimpse in there. I think he's got a Mentor the Meek though.
Oh, we're going to get to see the new card in action now.
Oh, I'd really like... Yeah, that'd be awesome. He could cast it right here and then just start doing things. 1. Alright, well, there's Birchlore Ranger. And now all of his green spells... So he's got the Birchlore Ranger plus Nettle Sentinel going. So all of his elves essentially make a mana when he casts them. All of his green spells make a mana, for that matter. So all the ones that cost a single green are just free. As long as they're elves. Mentor of the Meek.
No, you said every card.
So all of your elves will make a mana. So he has Nettle Sentinel plus Birchlore Ranger, which means that whenever you play an elf, your Nettle Sentinel untaps, your elf comes into play, you tap them both, you get a mana out of it. Chris and I actually worked on a elves deck list together, and I played a ton of elves too, so I can see a lot of Chris's decisions with his deck here. Mirror Entity was always something he advocated really big.
Viridian Shamans. Are these attacking?
I think he might be tapping them for mana.
Birchlore, okay.
Yeah, Birchlore Rangering. Alright, tapping for some mana. There's Priest of Titania. Untaps Nettle Sentinel. You gotta make sure you don't miss any triggers. A lot of triggers with this deck. On Magic Online, they all pop up like crazy. Alright, draws a card of Mentor the Meek. So, Mentor the Meek can play Legacy. It's awesome.
Alright, top deck did another Dismember. Alright, Dismember's Mentor the Meek goes down to 9.
Get rid of that guy. Chris taps 1, 2. Still got value out of that mentor. All right, there's the Mirror Entity. I'll tap my Gaia's Cradle. And with the Gaia's Cradle.
That's what I meant.
Yeah. And Chris Andersen takes that down. And that's, I mean...
We go to game 3.
Now Chris looks a little happier. Look at that face. He's like, all right. Feel a little better now. Didn't get perished out that game. And now it's Chris who will be on the draw for game 3. Now still, there are those 2 perishes lurking in Maxwell Jacobs' deck. Chris does not want to get randomly perished. Perish would have been brutal there. The combo with Mirror Entity, in case you don't see it, is, well, first of all, you can do what you do that game, which is just make all your guys gigantic. But if you have Wirewood Symbiote and Mirror Entity, you can activate Mirror Entity and make all your Wirewood Symbiotes also elves, so they can return themselves.
Yeah, and then it's just a crazy infinite loop.
Yeah, I mean, so then you just pick up your Wirewood Symbiotes, you play them down, you tap them all for mana with Heritage Druid, things go nuts.
Yeah, it just gets crazy. Wild and crazy times.
And then, then eventually you build up to, it's madness, just trust me. But
yeah, you never know what's going on the table. All you know is it takes 6 minutes and you're dead.
Yeah, you can bounce your Regal Force sometimes. Like, crazy stuff happens.
So once you do all the shenanigans, there's no real way, though. How do you... Like, there are games with this deck that you can combo out and not kill them that turn, correct?
It is theoretically possible, yes.
Yeah, but you get to Thoughtseize them twice.
You can Thoughtseize them twice. You can also... If you board it in the Mortar Pod, you can kill them.
Oh, the Mortar Pod.
That's actually pretty technology. Kristen, tell me about that one. That is Mortar Pod is a way that if you combo out, you can kill them.
Yeah.
Which is pretty neat. But aside from that, any guys that aren't summoning 6, for example, Nettle Sentinels are often down and just, have been there for a turn or two. You can make them, a million, or whatever. So those can serve in. But yeah, it is possible for you to not win that turn. I talked to Chris about it, though, and his opinion is often, it's pretty much never matters if it's next turn or not. So, especially if you can Thoughtseize them. Looks like both players are mulliganing here. Nah, both players having a good time. They look like friends almost.
They're enjoying their time.
I wonder if...
we're at Magic tournaments.
I wonder if they know each other. Yeah, Magic tournaments are awesome.
Yeah, we're at a Magic tournament right now. You got to be having fun, right?
Yeah. Playing for top 8, but, just enjoying it. I know Chris would be thrilled if he got to top 8 with his...
Has he not top 8 him many times?
I don't think he's made a bunch of top 16s. I think he got 9th once.
Oh, he's never top 8 in an SCG Open yet?
Not in Legacy, at least.
Oh, okay.
I don't think he has. He might have. But, this is his Elves deck, and... I know he'd like to make it happen. He had to... He played it through and Mental Misstep was still around, took a beating doing so. Although he still made top 16 of an Open doing so. Might have been, the last Indianapolis Open. He lives in Indianapolis, so it's easy for him to get here. He plays in just the Indianapolis events mostly.
Well, I see him all the time. It's only Indianapolis, though?
He goes around to some of the Grand Prix and stuff, but I think most of the Starseed events he plays are ones around here. See how he does. I'll look up and see some of his other finishes. All right. Chris, look over his hand. Using the StarCityGames.com deck database, you can search for any person and just find all their results, including Star City Games Opens. It's pretty convenient.
All right. Chris is going to be taking a mulligan. Maxwell is good with his 7.
And, man, mulligans. Not good. So here we go. So, Chris Andersen... Yeah, he's got a 7th place, a 4th place.
1 Legacy top 8, 1...
Yeah, 1 Legacy top 8.
And 1 Standard Open top 8.
Yeah, 1 Legacy, 1 Standard. Top 8 Standard with Kuldotha Red of all decks. But, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Chris on 5. Can he come back? I do see Glimpse in his hand. That's certainly going to help. Cracks Verdant Catacombs. He's going to find a land. Finds a forest. And there comes, I think, is that Lenore Elf or is that Heritage Druid? It looks like Heritage Druid to me.
Yeah, it's Heritage Druid. Almost
Turn
when he was
2.
flashing through, it looked like a standstill.
Turn 2, no play for Maxwell Jacob. Now, Chris has to wonder again, is there a Perish? And there's not. There's a Dismember, there's a Submerge, but no Perish. There's Wirewood Symbiote, which will help protect his other elves, although I'm sure it'll need a Grisly Death to a Dismember. And Maxwell quickly dismembers. Well, not quickly.
Yeah.
After thinking, dismembers the Heritage Druid in response,
Yeah.
making sure he can't pick it back up.
Yeah, we don't want a Heritage Druid in play. Right? That's about one of the only ways Chris Andersen's going to like generate too much card advantage for Maxwell to get back in the game.
And there's Romero Reedry on turn 3. Dree.
I think he has another Maraudry in hand, and he might be able to chain some Merfolk together and build up his board really quick.
Yeah, and Chris needs time. He's got
No
he's got-
land, no play, go.
he's got 2 Glimpses and a Mentor of the Meek in his hand, but I don't think he's got any other action to go along with that. Mulliganing down to 5. Chris can't
It
be
is
happy
rough.
about that.
Well, I don't like that play.
All right, there's Cold Helm Commander.
He could have, if he did it the other way, he could have had 1 mana untapped.
All right, taps in, serves for 3.
And he could have triggered the Coral Helm.
All right, so Chris draws Wirewood Symbiote, I believe. He's probably going to play one of his Glimpses of Nature.
No, the other way, he could have like leveled the Coral Helm up twice. Right? He went Coral Helm and then Maraudry, and he could have leveled the Coral Helm twice.
Yeah,
if
because
he
you
did
get
the
to
other.
untap 2 things.
Yeah, he would have netted 1 mana.
All right, so Glimpse of Nature bike from Chris Andersen. And he
Submerge.
goes for the crack and Submerge from Maxwell Jacob.
And Chris probably gave him a weird look. Next, like, yeah, I don't know, got it all.
Yeah, pretty insane for Maxwell. And Chris is going to play another Symbiote, though, and draw a card. And he just wants to find his 3rd land, find some kind of action.
Mm-hmm.
Something, anything. That's what Chris Andersen needs. Well, not anything, but that's a lot of damage coming in next turn, too. That's 6, 10 damage on the board. So Chris Andersen got to drop pretty well to get out of this. All right, there's Wirewood Symbiote. Draws a card. It's Nettle Sentinel. All right, so if Chris forced, but Maxwell can't cast it. All right, levels up Coral Helm Commander twice. Activates the Mutable. And he has to choose. You have to jump block with the Symbiote.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I mean, yeah, the game's over. Chris is gonna need a pat on the back after this one.
Well, Chris can still win if he draws perfectly. If he he has Glimpse and Nettle Sentinel. If he goes Glimpse, Nettle Sentinel.
No.
If he goes Glimpse, Nettle
No.
Sentinel, Birchlaw Ranger, he can still go off.
Oh, Birchlaw Ranger, but he keeps making 1/1s, and he never nets any mana.
No, you just draw more Nettle Sentinels.
Oh, so yeah, I guess that's true.
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely done that before. I mean, you're a little bit of a sack, but, you only get down to 5. You got to run eventually. All right, so he draws 1, taps 1. Heritage Druid.
Not enough.
Not going to do it.
Need to be Birchlaw.
Yeah, I think he points to it and is like, that needed to be Birchlaw Ranger.
Thinks for a second, takes a breath, extends the hand.
All right, and that's it. Chris Andersen loses to Merfolk. Not too happy about that on the bubble for